All right, everybody, welcome to another What's on Dave's Shelf. And in this episode, we're going to take a look at all four of the PC series, which is the basic Dungeons & Dragons Creature Crucible series. Now, I love this series. I mean, I like the DDA series. That's a great series for modules. And of course, BNX, those are great as well. But the PC series, the Creature Crucible series, guys, I'm so glad that I picked these up, because when I first saw these, I'm like, what do these books have? I'm like, the Tales of the Wee Folk, it's probably all about hobbits, and Top Ballista, it's about aerial combat, and sea people's okay, and night howlers. I was really interested in night howlers because that's all about lycanthropy. So yeah, but I'm so glad I got these, because these are amazing supplements for basic Dungeons and Dragons. I mean, amazing supplements. Now, PC1, this is all about, this is PC1, Tall Tales of the Wee Folk. It is not what the book advertises. I mean, sure, there's story on the Wee Folk and all that stuff, but the content is just amazing. And there's 2 books in all of these supplements. So here's the Dreamlands. This is the land of the Wee Folk. So, basically this is like the Fae before D&D started calling it the Fae. And this is all, your woodland stuff. And all of these Creature Crucibles, they were so awesome for basic Dungeons and Dragons. And so were the Gazetteers. Because, if you are familiar with the core, the red box set, there's your 4 human classes: the rogue, the cleric, the fighter, and the magic user. And then there's the demi-human classes: the elf, the dwarf, and the halfling. And then later on, the druid was added, and so was the mystic, which is the monk. But the Creature Crucibles, like the Gazetteers, added so many more. It just added a massive amount of playable characters for basic D&D. And I was not expecting. I just thought this was going to be story of hobbits and stuff. But boy, was I wrong when I started reading this book. This is an amazing book. And I said it's 20 times already, but I'll probably hear it 20 more times. But, you can play pixies. You can play pukas, which are like an enchanted horse. You can play treants. There were all kinds of new skills, new spells, and also some monster stats as well for, more Fae or woodland creatures, even though they're called the Wee Folk in here. So here's your... and every one of these had an adventure book as well. So not only did you get, the meat of the content, which is, here's all your layers. You can even play your characters. You can even be you can be a centaur. You can be a satyr. You can be all these. It's so insane. You can be a leprechaun. You can be a dryad. You can be a sprite, a wood imp, a wood drake. And it shows you how to modify. If you're going to be those classes, you can be the core classes, like the cleric, the fighter, etc. And then for each one of these Wee Folk races, here's your minimum and, your minimum scores for abilities. And then it tells you what kind of features, natural armor that you get for each type of Wee Folk that you want to be. And then the whole page, there's your fawns and your Hassals, your treants. It just has everything for you. Wood imps, spellcasting. It's just amazing. Being a brownie, being a leprechaun, pixies and sprites. Puka. This was nothing like I thought. And I love the Creature Crucibles. It's amazing. Here's all of your spells, with a lot of new spells also. All kinds of new skills. There's new equipment, and then it has a bunch of lore about the Dreamlands, which are where all these Wee Folk are from. Beautiful. New magic items. Here's part 2, which is the adventure book. And I believe there's 3 adventures in each one of these. Oh, and also, you'll notice that in the Creature Crucibles, you could adapt this to your 2nd edition game as well. So especially in the later part of basic Dungeons and Dragons, it always gave you conversion notes for 2nd edition, because that was like the main game that was out. So there's an adventure called A Night Out in the Forest, A Quiet Day Spent Fishing, and A Blight on the Forest. So there's, like three adventures. I mean, it's awesome. So nice. You get a blank character sheet, I think. There you go. There's a Woodland player character sheet. And like I said, all of the Wee Folk races, you would add their customization on top of the core classes that you wanted to play. It was awesome. So yeah, I mean, you could play. So could you imagine playing a leprechaun? Unbelievable. Carrying around a pot of gold. Wouldn't that be so awesome? Ah. PC1, Tell Tales of the Wee Folk. Such a great one. So after I got this one, this was the first one that came out. Then Top Ballista came out, and I was like, we'll see what it's all about. But of course, you should probably read the back of the book because it tells you. But anyway, Top Ballista is awesome as well. I mean, these game accessories, there's that awesome word again. I mean, it's just, they're awesome. 2 books again. You got the Dimerack Forest. Remember the Dimerack Dread? Well, there you go. There's the Dimerack Forest, Den of the Harpies. It has a map, and it has planes from the gnomes. Yeah, so there you go. And then this is the city right here of the gnomes. Serene, I think it was. Yeah, Serene. So, yeah. The planes even have magic missile guns. I mean, isn't that awesome? So, once again, this is all about the gnomes. And this is another great expansions. So many classes. These are all of the races from the sky. You can play a gnome. You can play, I remember you could be a gremlin. You could play a sphinx. I mean, seriously. And then there was also the fully fleshed out city of Serene as well, which is the sky city of the gnomes. So here's all the other races that you can add on top of the core classes. So there's a Fanair, a gnome, a gremlin, a harpy, a nagpa, a pegatar, a sphinx, and a tabi. Which a tabi is sort of like the tabaxi, which is like a cat person. So here's everything that you have with the races that you want to be. So here starts with the Fanair. And there's like 2 pages of stuff that you can customize. Here's the gnomes and the sky gnomes. The gremlins. Look at that. Gremlin art. Look at that. It's beautiful. Yeah, these books are awesome. I wonder how many times I've said awesome. Count how many times I've said awesome and put it in the comment section for me. Pegator, Sphinxes, etc. All the spell casting. There's all kinds of new skills. Couple pages of new skills, and it just keeps broadening and broadening basic Dungeons and Dragons. So by the end of the life, around 1999 for Dungeons and Dragons with the Rules Cyclopedia, the Challenger series, yeah, character creation is a lot better than from the red box set. And then here's Serene, the Flying City. Here's all of the locations, and there's tons of locations. Talks about, social status, all of the law and order, the leadership, the key players. It has everything that you need to know that is involved with the fold-out map. And then here's the adventure booklet. I believe there's, 3 levels in this book as well. So, yeah, awesome stuff. There's an adventure called Tabby Hunt. Scream of Terror. Heart of Darkness. And I believe Heart of Darkness is a pretty long adventure. Yeah, it is. So yeah, these are beautiful products. I mean, the Crucibles were amazing. And look at the price on these. Look at the price. That's how much I paid. $9.95. Unbelievable. These are in such great shape too. Top Ballista. So here's PC3. So by the end of the second one, Top Ballista, I was all in with Creature Crucibles. I was like always checking the pamphlets and stuff and the mail order stuff that you could get with future products and everything. And back then there was no internet created by Al Gore, so you couldn't go to the TSR website or anything. I mean, this is all stuff. I could find out because I had a connection at Walden Books. That's how I got these. I would, whatever Walden Books wouldn't have on the shelf, the manager would allow me to look at their microfiche with all of the game stuff that they had. And that's how I got most of my Talos Lantis stuff, and that's how I got most of this D&D stuff, especially like the Crucibles and the DDA adventures, because they weren't on the shelf. And I specially ordered those. As long as especially if I ordered $10, so I would have to order 2 books, and it would be like $15, but that was nothing. I mean, I was single, didn't have a kid. I lived on my own. I made great money as a meat department manager. It was awesome. And then when my son came along, then the money was a little short, but any parent will do that. So here's PC3 as I digress, and I apologize about that. I tend to do that when I make these videos. So the Sea People, another great accessory. I mean, same kind of format. You got your adventure book, you got your character book, you got and this map is actually, remember, this is all the undersea. So this is all of these are the undersea cities and stuff that are in the Sea of Dread, which is between the Isle of Dread and southern Karamikos to the north. So these are all of the underwater volcanoes, the cities, and here's your map key right here. I mean, this is amazing. And it has stuff on the islands as well, but it has all kinds of underwater locations, which was beautiful. Man, I love this. Oh, the Creature Crucibles. So good. These and the Gazetteers are my favorite books. So yeah. So here's the Sea People. And with the Sea People, I mean, there's all kinds. I remember there was just a very tad bit of information on underwater adventuring. But with the Sea People, it expands greatly on underwater adventuring and combat rules. So that expansion alone was awesome. And it was well needed for basic Dungeons and Dragons as well. And then, of course, it introduced more playable races. So you could be an aquatic elf. You could be a Gnaw. You could be a Kopru. You could be a Nixie. You could be a sea giant. You could even be a sharkkin, which is like a shark humanoid. So there were all kinds of different races that you could add on top of the core classes, like thief, magic user, fighter, and cleric. So you could be a Nixie cleric if you wanted to be. You could be a sea giant fighter. I mean, that would just be crazy to be a sea giant fighter. And then, of course, it has all of the information for, and the experience tables for all of the different optionals. Look at that. You could be a Triton as well. I forgot about the Triton. But you could be a Triton. I mean, it's awesome, man. All kinds of new skills as well. And a lot of these skills are underwater skills. And then there's a lot of new, well, not a lot, but there's a couple of new underwater spells also. So this is amazing. And then, of course, you got your, and then here's some underwater boats as well. Underwater chariots and the mechanics for them. Here's your new spells. Oh, wow. Actually, there are quite a few new spells, to be honest. There's new potions, new new underwater sea items. Here's all kinds of the main personalities or NPCs of the Sea World. Wow, pretty nice. I didn't even notice that. But here is the adventure book also. I would love to do some of this stuff. So there's how many adventures are in here? looks like there's some new monsters in here also. Looks like there's multiple. Oh yeah, there's all kinds of new devilfish, underwater zombies, water zombies. Very nice. It looks like these are, there's sea hags and copperoos. So there's adventures. Oh, wow. There's actually adventures and hooks for each of the sea people races. And then here's another adventure called Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, which looks like it's a longer adventure instead of just points. Look at that. Look at the all the mechanical controls of the ship. It's pretty cool. All kinds of random encounters that have nice details to them. And a couple of maps. So, yeah, wow. PC3, the Sea People. Man, these Crucibles are insane. And then here's the last one, which is a Challenger series, which is means it's at least 1991, I think. So, yeah, this is 1992. And the Challenger series means that this is affiliated with, this is what I think Challenger series is. Everything that is Rule Cyclopedia, 1991, and newer. So this is Night Howlers. This is all about lycanthropy. This is an amazing supplement as well. Here you go. Gallantry, part of the Gazetteer series. So there's all kinds of lycanthropy running rampant in there. And I'm sure there's probably more in the Gazetteer as well. So here is the, I believe this is called Werewolf Valley or something like that. Or Were Valley or something like that. It's a huge 8-panel map. Looks like a couple smaller maps with Chateau de Morlaix and Chateau de Menaboy. Yeah, there we go. This is the Valley of Wolves. Sorry, I keep hitting my mic. But yeah, this is the map of the Valley of the Wolves, which is where all of the different were creatures live. And just like all of the other creature crucibles, you can be all kinds of different were creatures. So you can be, as you can see here, you can be werewolves, werebats, werebears, wereboars, werefoxes, wereseals. Never heard of a wereseal. You can be a wereshark, a weretiger, a devil swine, a wererat. Amazing. Here's all of the mechanics for lycanthropy. Here's a nice historical timeline of how lycanthropy started. Then it talks about the main key figures. Wow, look at that. All the reactions, all of the mechanics for it. It has all the different months and the times of the month. That's awesome. Here's all of the, you can even be a were-jaguar. Or as the English say it, jaguar. Yeah, there you go. There's all the different types of were folks you can be. Oof. So awesome. Here's all the lore of the Valley of Wolves, which is the map. And this talks about all the different packs of were creatures and who's allied, who's fighting one another, etc. Talks about creating a campaign. A bunch of hooks for lycanthropy adventures. Yeah, a bunch of stuff. Look at that. That's just beautiful. There's new monsters, new magic items. More mechanics on Wolvesbane. which is cool. Oh, here's the glossary and pronunciation guide. Let's see, L for lycanthropy. It's not on there. You're saying it wrong. Okay. Here's all of the class stuff for being the different types of were creatures. Then here's a very detailed, werebears. And man, look, it has all the art and werebores. And look, you can be a werefox. Come on. Who doesn't want to be a werefox? There's your were seal. Everybody wants to be a were seal. Were shark. Were tigers. Look at that. Devil swine. Were these supplements are so awesome. There's more general skills too. More new general skills. Yeah, and there you go. There's the Valley of Wolves. So there you go, everybody. Those are the 4 books in the Creature Crucible series. It's a darn shame that this series was cut short. I don't know if it was cut short or not, but it was definitely being developed towards the end of the life of basic Dungeons and Dragons. So, but anyways, if you're playing basic D&D and if you want to expand the amount of content for your players, you need to get these. I mean, it's just hands down. I mean, I would say Night Howlers, Tale of the Wee Folk, and Top Ballista are the ones you really need to get, unless you're going to play an underwater adventure. Then I would say, yeah, go ahead and get the Sea People too. But PC 1, 2, 3, and 4, some of my favorite basic Dungeons and Dragons books. The the GAZ or Gazetteer series and the PC series are by far my favorite supplemental book series. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know down in the comment section below if you have any of these Creature Crucibles and if you like them or not. I would love to hear your stories, and I would love to hear if you guys have played any underwater adventures with the Sea People or lycanthropy adventures or used any of the other classes with the new races. So I would love to see that in the comment section. So thank you everybody for watching. Please feel free to thumbs up the video. If you like it, thumbs it up. And until next time, I know you'll follow the YouTube channel, by the way. So I know you'll subscribe there. You'll get notifications on when I release more videos, which I have a ton more basic Dungeons and Dragons videos. So I think there's going to be a total of 15 basic Dungeons and Dragons showing the entire basic D&D line. So thank you everybody for watching. Until next video, stay safe and happy gaming. Bye everybody.